So our topic of today is about sustaining and improving STEAM education. I have here a brief outline of this presentation. We will first discuss why is sustainability important. Then we will have an overview of competencies related to the sustainability of PBL in STEAM. We'll move further to strategies for sustaining the STEAM approach, and then to strategies for improving the STEAM approach. So, first of all, why sustainability is important? Well, it is important for at least two reasons. Sustainability help us enhancing students' understanding for ensuring a balanced, healthy, and equitable future for people and the planet. And secondly, by encouraging a thoughtful approach to consumption, production, and societal development, it will aim at creating a more sustainable world for all living beings. Having these two aspects in mind, we can think to other two important issues related to sustainability. It's about ethical responsibility and legacy of sustainability. Well, sustainability embodies ethical responsibility to ensure future generations inherit a planet able to sustain their needs and well-being. And concerning legacy of sustainability, by prioritizing sustainability today, we can set a precedent for future societal norms, instilling values that prioritize environmental stewardship and responsible consumption. So we'll move further to competencies related to the sustainability of PBL in STEAM. We have seen that sustainability is important, and we know that we valued a lot sustainability in our project by devoting an entire area of competencies to this issue. So the competencies related to sustainability in our project are the following. Competence 10, which is focused on reflecting on performance as a STEAM project facilitator. Competence 11, applying creativity and innovation in STEAM projects. And competence 12, keeping learning about STEAM projects and share knowledge. So we have three competencies focusing sustainability. It's about reflection on performance, it's about creativity and innovation, and it's about ongoing learning and sharing of knowledge. Well, when talking about STEAM approach, we are talking about PBL. And I detailed here the main phases of project-based learning. So when developing this type of projects, we start from identifying a theme or a research question. Then we move to plan the project. We conduct research and inquiry, then develop and create some products. Next step is to assess and refine the products developed, then present and evaluate the quality of these products within the project. But we talk about PBL also when thinking about problem-based learning. When discussing on problem-based learning, we briefly follow the following steps. Identify and define the challenging problem. Develop some solution criteria. Then research for solution and pick up a solution, which might not be the unique solution. Then create, run, inspect that solution, eventually find another one, and continue to reflect on the solution and eventually redo the process. So this is problem-based learning. When talking about the STEAME approach, we cover both. And sometimes these are analyzed in an interchangeable way. So it's about project-based learning and problem-based learning. When saying PBL, we might refer to the one or to the other. Okay. This was in relationship to the competencies related to sustainability. We move further to strategies for sustaining the STEAME approach. And I identified here a few reasons for which sustainability is particularly important in the STEAME process. So one refers to real-world relevance, and this implies addressing global challenges. Why this is important? Because the idea of sustainability might equip students to apply interdisciplinary knowledge to tackle pressing global issues such as climate change, resource depletion, and social inequality. On a more concrete view here, we are talking about practical applications. This helps students to learn how to apply scientific and mathematical principles in the real-world context, generating a greater understanding of sustainability's relevance in everyday life. Another reason refers to encouraging critical thinking. So here we are talking about problem-solving skills. So it's by sustainability, by enhancing sustainability, we encourage students to think critically and creatively about solving complex problems and about evaluating the impact of their solutions in the environment and society. On a more concrete level of this, we are talking about design thinking, because within sustainability, we would emphasize sustainable and user-centered solutions, fostering innovation that considers ecological and social implications. So these dimensions are always emphasized through focusing on sustainability. Next, another reason refers to interdisciplinary learning. We are talking here about holistic understanding, and through sustainability, we can go over unifying themes across all STEAME disciplines, emphasizing the ways in which each area contributes to a sustainable future. And at a more concrete level, we are talking here about collaborative projects in which we can encourage teamwork across various disciplines. Another reason related to the importance of sustainability refers to empowering future leaders. And here we should take into account environmental ethics, so that we can use this as a means to prepare students to become responsible leaders in their communities and industries. And also to develop an entrepreneurial mindset, because by focusing on sustainability, we take into account possibilities for students to develop business models that prioritize social responsibility and ecological mindfulness together with the business. Another reason refers to long-term viability. So here we focus sustainable development goals that foster a sense of global citizenship and social responsibility among students. And at a more concrete level, it's about economic sustainability. So in this way, students can contribute to economic systems that both prioritize environmental care and in the same the development of the technological and societal progress, but always prioritizing environmental issues. And 6, it refers to enhancing engagement and motivation, because we can provide students with meaningful learning experiences, creating context in which academic learning is embedded into real-world impacts, and thus the students' motivation can be increased. And also we can provide students with inspirational role models by relating presentations and learning activities to Nobel laureates and other mentors who can inspire peers and younger generations to pursue careers in different sustainable fields. So after having an overview of the importance of sustainability, we'll go further to enter into some strategies for sustaining STEAM education. One important strategy has in view curriculum development. And here we are talking about interdisciplinary curriculum design. So for this to happen, we need to focus on programs that integrate or give an integration of subjects, emphasizing connections between different disciplines. So these connections, it's not just putting together different disciplines, but giving the meaning for the connections between them and the cross and transdisciplinary topics that relate these disciplines. It is also about PBL, which might help students understand the practical relevance of their studies by encouraging real-world projects. Another strategy refers to professional development for educators. For this, we need to develop training workshops in which the ongoing professional development is focused on opportunities that lead to integration and innovative pedagogical strategies. And also it supports developing collaborative networks which allow sharing resources, experiences, best practices, which could contribute to continuous learning and support of stakeholders involved into the process. Another strategy refers to collaborative teaching and learning. And here we can develop team teaching opportunities because when we emphasize team teaching activities, we can create models for interdisciplinary collaboration between students, among students. And also, in the same time, we should have in view student collaboration. That means to facilitate group projects that require students to bring different skills and perspectives and abilities to solve complex problems. Another strategy to sustain STEAM education refers to using technology and various resources. We know it's about various digital tools and platforms like virtual labs, coding tools, online simulations, which contribute to enhancing learning and engagement in STEAM subjects. And with the same level of importance is resource sharing. And we can do that by creating resource banks containing guides, lesson plans, and other digital content, which is made available to all educators in an institution. Another strategy to sustain STEAM education refers to community and industry partnerships. Industry collaborations are important because involving experts from industry to provide students with insights into what they are doing allow to connect more what the students are doing with real world applications. And this might stimulate engagement. So community engagement is also important. And this can be done by involving local communities, by organizing events, exhibition fairs, where students can display their STEAM projects and gain real feedback or feedback in real time. Another strategy is related to continuous improvement. And for this to happen, we need to establish a system of regular evaluation in order to make adjustments based on feedback and re-evaluation of results, outcomes. And also to develop some scalable models. These successful models can be adapted and implemented in different educational settings, creating thus more receptivity towards developing STEAM education. So these have been the strategies emphasized for sustaining the STEAM approach. And now I am moving to strategies for improving the STEAM process. I'm trying to go over these. So one important strategy refers to developing integrative and innovative curriculum. And here we are talking about curriculum design. And for improving the STEAME process, here we need to incorporate emerging topics and various global topics that are important today. Another strategy refers to emphasizing hands-on and experiential learning. Here we can talk about lab-based and maker spaces where students can develop various hands-on activities. These are happening in the labs or digital environments, but also field trips and real-world applications are relevant for enhancing experiential learning. Another dimension refers to embracing technology and innovation. So it is about digital integration into STEAME projects and online platform and resources that embed innovation should be used. The same level of importance is related to fostering critical thinking and problem solving. So by doing this, we are focusing on design thinking, which needs to be developed in students' mind, and resource and uses resources, various PBL solving tasks to be approached by students. And also helpful for developing critical thinking and problem-solving capacities are providing students with case studies and simulations. We continue the list of possible strategies for improving the STEAME process. It is about enhancing arts and creativity. It's always quite difficult to bring creativity into the process. This is why it is needed to develop some creativity workshops, so workshops which are focused on creativity. And here arts has a very important role. So it's good to think about art-infused projects because arts has a deep potential to enhance creativity. So it's not art for the sake of art, it's art as a mean to stimulate creativity. And we need to have this to take this into account to really improve the STEAME process. I will just make a parenthesis here. I have seen classes in Singapore where students were taking lessons in creativity. So it was a quite directive way to learn creativity, with special moments when students were challenged to become creative. So this aspect is quite important, and if it is not taken into account explicitly, it might be lost. Another strategy refers to encouraging entrepreneurship. And for this, it's good to come up with innovation and business challenges. So expose future teachers and students to various business challenges, and also challenge them to participate in competitions and showcases. Another strategy, of course, refers to professional development and educator support for ensure the quality of the STEAME process. Cross-discipline training is important, so this professional development should be focused somehow, uh, less on each subject, but more on cross-discipline training. And the mentorship programs should also have in view both aspects of the specificities of one subject and the need to create cross and trans connections to emphasize the relationships between these subjects. And eighth, it is about building a supportive learning environment. This is good always, but for a STEAME process, it is important to enhance inclusive classroom practices and ensure student feedback and reflection for enhancing inquiry attitudes in the classroom. So, by implementing these strategies, educational institutions can enhance the STEAME process, making it more engaging, relevant, and effective for students, preparing them for future academic and career opportunities. So we always have these two dimensions of academic and career opportunities. Thank you so much.